Hello, everybody. In a second, okay, how goes it? Anyway, gonna share more truth. Um, kind of listen to all this stuff that goes on. It's just crazy how we swallow it up. And I see the misery of people, the sadness, the loneliness, the confusion. I remember in the scriptures, there's Matthew, one of those four gospels, where it said that Jesus had compassion on them because the people were like sheep, not having a shepherd, no guidance of any kind. And it's crazy because the way the mood and stuff is going on right now, wow, and it's predominantly Christians. It's causing all this. I know people. It's crazy. If you're for Trump, good for you. You have that right as a citizen of a free nation. I do that because, yeah, but um, the man's a liar. Period. No, everybody's a liar. And I know people bring those stupid arguments. Which go ahead. Um, the elements, everything is just pointing to the end. It is. I can't deny it. I look at it, I see it, and it's everywhere. The end. Oh my goodness. It's just crazy. I'm selfish because I should be doing the work that God called me to do to liberate people. Because liberation comes so easily. It's there. Where the Spirit of the Lord is, there is liberty. That's what the Bible teaches. And it's kind of scary because as the word says, um, iniquity will abound, the love of many shall wax cold. It talked about how these end times, the elements that go on, and then they said this too. They said, if they did this in the green, what will they do in the dry? And the green is when he was here on the earth. And if they did that to him, what else won't they do? And it's so funny because so many little tiny things that disrupt us, that mess with us, which is minimal and menial and just basically of none importance. It's basically that right there, of none importance. So, um, just so much out there. It's kind of scary. I've been feeling this for the last 5 years. I remember when um, I'll say my co-minister, I could say that, because we were called together, and the Holy Ghost spoke to her and said, "There'll be a famine. Call a famine on the land." And there it is. Anyway, um, Saturday night, I believe, or Sunday morning, I don't know, something like that. And I guess I should say like that. And it's just intense. Got invited to do some stuff, and I'm like, "I'm good, thank you. No, thank you. Appreciate that, but no, thank you." Oh my God, there's just so much out there. One thing I'll share, I think I did it before, but I'm going to say it again. The devil is not after your soul to take you to hell, period. God is not after your soul to take you to heaven. Period. That's it. Jesus said in John chapter 23, you must be born again. Um, Nicodemus was high up in the ranks within the temple, within the Jewish religion, within Judea, within the synagogue, within those things. He was high up. And he posed a question. Here's what he said. He said, Master, well, here's what his statement. He goes, Master, we know that you're a man come from God, for no man can do the things you do except God is with him. That's what he said to him. And he came to Jesus by night, at nighttime. And Jesus said to him, you must be born again. And he said, what? He said, how can a man be born when he is old? Can he enter his mother's womb a second time and be born again? Here's what Jesus said. That which is born of the flesh is flesh. That which is born of the spirit is spirit. Again, that which is born of the flesh is flesh. That which is born after the spirit is spirit. So it either is or it isn't. There's no any kind of anything, no room for error, no room for ambiguity, no room for gray areas, they like to call it. You must be born again. And again, most people think of the religious route. They think of, oh, I go to church. My parents went to church. Their parents went to church. I may not go to church now, but I know about that stuff. I know about God. I know about the church thing. I know all this stuff. That's what they say. That's what they say. And that's not what he's talking about. He's talking about literally being born of God. What's amazing is, and God gave me this a long time ago. What's amazing is that he just to give you an idea, when he gave this to me, he said, excuse me, let me share this with you. I'll ask you this question, you folks out there, whoever's watching. You did not tell your parents to make you, period. You weren't around. It happened without your permission. Two people met, two strangers, if you will, committed sexual intercourse. You were conceived, you're here now. Powerful. In order to see the sun, you must be born. In order to drink milk, you must be born. In order to breathe, you must be born. In order to have a thought process, you must be born. In order to grow, you must be born. In order to hear, think, all these things, you must be born. See? That's the flesh. That's why Jesus said you must be born again. The old man told Jesus, he said, how can these things be? How can this be? And Jesus was amazed by him because this guy was a high up in the religious realm. And he said, how is it that you're a master? You're a master of Israel and you don't know these things? If I told you earthly things, what will happen if I tell you heavenly things? Here's what he said. The wind, it's windy out there right now. This trailer's rocking too. It's crazy. The wind goes where it wants to. The wind blows where it desires. You hear the sound thereof, but you cannot tell where it came from, and you cannot tell where it's going. So is everyone that is born of the Spirit. And that's the odd thing about it, see? You must be born again. So you look at that term born again, real simple, real easy. He said, being born again, not of corruptible, which is the flesh, but of incorruptible seed. Not of corruptible seed, but of incorruptible seed by the word of God. When my kids' mom and I met, we said, let's have some children. It's just words. Then we did the process and action to make it happen. Now you got 5 human beings running around the earth outside of us from words. Well, God said, in the beginning, let there be light, meaning I'm going to have me some kids. I'm going to have me some kids. You must be born again. And of course, excuse me, so kind of tired. Excuse me. You must be born again. Ah, pretty powerful thing. Literally, it means you're born of God. That's what that means. And it's phenomenal because when Jesus was first conceived, and other religions try to make Mary more than what she was just a plain person, period. Period. She was just a plain old person. She was the lineage of David as well as Joseph, the king's line. But that was it. Nothing significant about her. You know, the only difference was, and it was kind of crazy because when the angel came and talked to Mary, and I was listening to the Catholic channel tonight. My goodness, they are too much. Half their stuff they can't prove. Actually, 80% of it they can't prove. Just something they came up with. Crazy. Most religions are that way, though. Not just them. Pentecostals, Baptists, Mormons, Jehovah's Witness, all these religions come up with their own idea. And most folks ask me, well, what religion are you? I'm not religion. I don't believe in man's religion. I believe that Jesus Christ is the Son of God and God raised him from the dead. That's it. That's what I believe. Jesus Christ is the Son of God. He is the Son of God. That's it. Anyway, um, when Mary asked that question, because she said the, the angel told her you're highly favored, um, told her that she was going to bear a son, and he called his name Jesus. And she said, whoa, how can this be, seeing I know not a man? Meaning she had never had sexual intercourse. See, and that's what they reference. They reference that as a point of beginning life. Today it's nasty and derogatory and all that junk. But at a certain time, where children are burdens, children are letdowns. Way back when, if you didn't have a baby, you were cursed. Today, if you have a baby, you're cursed. Crazy. And the angel told me, the power of the power of the highest shall overshadow you. The Holy Ghost will come upon you. Therefore, that holy thing which shall be born of thee shall be called the Son of God. So there's Jesus being born. being born in the flesh, God himself. And we know this. So when this man tells Jesus that, and Jesus tells him, you must be born again. Again, I'll say it to you and I mean it. Not to join the church, not to do good, not to change your life, not to become religious, all that junk, but just to be a child of God. And I know people say that, well, we're all children of God. Yes, to a point, you're absolutely right. But it has nothing to do with the flesh, it has to do with the spirit. And here God comes and gives it to us to have the power. It said like this, he came unto his own, and his own received him not. He came unto his own, and his own received him not. But as many as received him, to them gave he power to become the sons of God, even to them that believe on his name. That's John chapter 1. Born again. And that's what it is. Again, it's not putting yourself in a denomination. You know, it's funny because non-denomination will say, well, we're not a denomination. Yeah, you are. You're a non-denominational denomination. It's basically just becoming a family in him. That's what that is. He's our Father. Born again, we're now his children. And that's all it is. I'm amazed at how, excuse me, amazed at how ignorant, how stubborn, how rebellious, how stupid I can be. God still is there with me. Not because of me, but because of his mercy and grace. I lost so much, guys. But God is still here. It's crazy. I don't deserve it. I'm telling you, I don't deserve it. All the goodness he shows me, all the times he's helped me, all the stuff that went on. I don't deserve his help. I don't deserve his grace. I don't deserve his mercy. But see, that's why he's God. You know? So I'm just here right now at this moment in time. I'm not trying to deal with tomorrow. I'm not even trying to deal with an hour from now. I'm trying to deal with right now. I'm sorry. I'm gonna go to sleep. I made a lot of friends right now. I made a lot. At least 30. At least 30 friends. Crazy. One guy in particular was a pretty good friend. Actually, a few. Um, being born again takes away all the stupidity of religion, all the ignorances of religion, man's religion. If you ever want to see what religion is to God, look up James 1:27. Pure religion and undefiled before God and the Father is this: to visit the fatherless and widows in their affliction, and to keep himself unspotted from the world. Now, if you want to know who the fatherless are, they're the ones that don't have God for a father. You want to know who the widows are? They're the ones without Christ for a husband. That's what that is. That's what that is. You must be born again. I'll go over how that occurs. I think I did, and I'll do it again. Anyway, I'm going to go to sleep because it's already 3, I think, 2:21, something like that. God bless you guys. Thank you for listening. You have a good evening. We'll talk to you next time.